So, you know that feeling when a hurricane like Milton just blew through? You step outside, you're like, whew, we made it. But then there's this nagging feeling like, hold on, is my house really okay? Have you ever felt that?
Oh, absolutely. It's the question everyone's asking themselves after a storm, and for a good reason.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today, especially after those top-ranked roofing articles you sent over.
Right, because the damage isn't always a fallen tree on your roof. You know, the obvious stuff.
Exactly. It's those hidden things, those sneaky issues that are hard to spot. Those always give me the chills.
Yeah, and for good reason. We're talking about things like structural weakening that you can't see.
Oh, wow. Okay.
The
Yeah.
kind of thing that could, even lead to a roof collapse if it's bad enough. Or water. Think about water getting into your walls where you don't see it.
Creating the perfect spot for mold to just bloom.
Exactly. And you might not even realize it's happening until it's, a huge problem and you need major repairs.
Okay, so let's say we're back at your house right after the storm. Maybe a branch down, but nothing too crazy. Where do we even begin to look for these invisible threats?
Well, I think the roof is always a good place to start.
Makes sense.
Even just a few missing shingles, which might seem minor.
Right. You might think, oh, it's just a few.
Yeah, but that's basically an open invitation for water to get in. And where there's water...
Becomes the mold. And we're talking serious health hazard, right?
Absolutely. We're talking about potential health hazards, and it happens quickly. We're talking days, not weeks.
Wait, really? It happens that fast?
Oh, yeah, in just 24 to 48 hours, mold can start growing if the conditions are right. Imagine that. You just had this big storm, maybe even less than a day ago, and the silent threat is already starting in your walls, and you'd have no idea.
That's a scary thought. And to think it could all start from just a couple of missing shingles.
Exactly.
So, besides the roof, what else should we be keeping an eye out for? What else should be on our radar?
Electrical hazards. Definitely a big one. You know the saying, water and electricity don't mix.
Oh, for sure.
Well, it's not just a saying, it's, a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
If you've got water getting into your electrical system, even something small, a small leak, can turn into a dangerous situation really fast.
Definitely not something to mess around with.
No, not at all. You don't want to gamble with electricity.
So we're talking like potentially dangerous stuff here, maybe even life-threatening. It makes you want to call an electrician before you even think about cleaning up the yard,
Yeah, no, I get it. It's always best to err on the side of caution. And especially with electricity, it's not worth taking chances, And that's where, having a professional come in and take a look is crucial.
Right, because they'll actually know what to look for.
Exactly. They're like the detectives of the damage world. They'll catch things that you or I wouldn't even think twice about.
And finding those issues early on probably saves you a lot of hassle down the road, right?
Yeah.
Not just in terms of keeping everyone safe, but financially too.
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't those top-ranked roofing articles mention something about insurance?
Yeah, it's a good point to bring up. It's not just about getting things fixed. It's about, protecting what you've invested in your home.
Right, right.
Most insurance companies, they have these timelines. You have to report damage within a certain time frame. And to do that, you need to have those inspections done quickly. Otherwise,
They might not even cover it.
exactly, it can turn into a real headache dealing with a denied claim.
So even if it seems like everything's okay, like you said, no big visible damage, getting that professional inspection, that's like your golden ticket to a smooth insurance claim and avoiding a financial disaster.
Right. Think of that inspection report as your proof, your documentation that backs up your claim.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's say Top Rank Roofing, they've just finished their inspection. What can you expect to see in that report? Is it like a roadmap to getting your home back to tip-top shape?
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. It's not just a, hey, you've got a problem. It's more like, here's what's going on, here's how we can fix it, and oh, by the way, here's some things to keep an eye on in the future.
Oh, I like that. So it's proactive, too.
Yeah, it's about giving you all the information and putting the power back in your hands.
It's got to be a huge relief, right? Having that information, knowing what you're dealing with, especially when you're already dealing with contractors and insurance and all that.
It really is. It gives you peace of mind knowing you haven't missed anything important, that your home is safe, and after a hurricane, you need that peace of mind.
For sure. Peace of mind is definitely something you want after riding out a storm. We've talked a lot about what to do after a hurricane hits, but is there anything our listeners can do beforehand to be proactive, before the storm even gets here?
Such a good question. And you're right, we tend to focus on the aftermath. But taking a little time now, before hurricane season even kicks in, that can make all the difference.
So what should people be doing? What's like the number one thing you recommend?
Work around your property. Simple as that. But I mean, really look at things, especially your roof line.
Okay, so like what are we looking for?
Look for things like loose shingles or tiles. Check your gutters for any debris. Basically, you're looking for any potential weak points.
So that way, when you're checking for damage after the storm, you know what you're comparing it to. You'll know if something's changed.
Exactly. You become familiar with your own home, and that way you can be your own first line of defense. And of course, if you see anything that concerns you, that's when you call in the experts, like Top Rank Roofing, to give you a professional opinion.
Better safe than sorry, right? Especially when it comes to our homes. Well, I think we've covered a lot of ground today. We learned about those hidden dangers lurking after a hurricane, the importance of those quick inspections, and even how to be more proactive about keeping our homes safe.
It's been a great deep dive, and hopefully everyone listening now has the information they need to weather whatever storms come their way.
And remember, even if you don't see any obvious damage, getting that professional inspection, that's a small price to pay for peace of mind.